after the marathon, I said that felt so much like doing. It was like, first of all, the preparation is very similar.
Really?
Yeah, very similar.
Drink a lot of water.
Well, yeah, you gotta hydrate, get a good night's
Stretch.
sleep. But even like the diet, everybody tells you to eat like carbs and stuff
Mm.
when you're preparing, for a marathon to like
Yeah.
and like when I would do like crazy the day before, I would eat just mostly carbs. Like
Really?
you don't want to eat spicy food. You actually
Okay.
don't really want to eat vegetables and
It's
like
like
yeah, carb, high fiber foods, which is exactly what they tell you to eat before the marathon. Also, like everybody's fear for the marathon is like
Having
don't want
shit.
to. Yeah. So like everybody has their own like secrets, like, oh, I do this in the morning, I do this in the morning, almost like what girls who trade like advice, where they're like, oh, do you take Imodium? Do you do this? Do you do this? Do you do this? Like literally marathon runners have these same exact conversations.
Wow.
So I felt like when I was talking to marathon runners about that, I was like, well, I know exactly what to do. I've got a plan. Don't worry about me. So it's like first of all, like you're like going in for this very physical group activity, where you're scared of, where your biggest concern is not and making it to the end. Those are your two main concerns.
Yeah.
And then also, like, in a marathon, there's a point in the middle where you're like, am I going to be able to do this?
Really?
Like what did I get myself into? I don't know if I can do this.
But what's the
And
most
then
strenuous?
Yeah.
you push through, and then
most
you're like,
hours you
I
ever put
can
in?
do this. And after you push through, you feel like,
Right.
and I have probably felt that in every.
the most
done.
hours you.
Oh yeah, but that's true. You don't do a 5.5 hour.
Yeah, that's
It's
gonna be
what
a
I
pretty
gain
long
weight,
one.
Point
you know?
in the, is your brain like, we have to push through this? Like, what is the thing that's happening?
Yeah, and what hurts? Like just your.
It's a weird thing. It's like, I hate saying hurts because then it's like I feel like any other physical sport, you can say this was challenging and people want to hear about it and hear about how you overcome the challenge. And you always have to be delicate because then you say this hurt, the world is like trauma.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, no, it's like a good pain,
Yeah.
It's like a workout
You chose
pain. Like
that
when you're
pain,
at
you
the
know?
gym and it hurts, you want to push through it and you want to do it. You're not like traumatized,
Yeah.
or triggered or anything. So to everyone out there, just because it can be a little painful, that doesn't mean,
Yeah.
it's still a good pain. If that
you
makes any
choose to
sense.
do it, don't think that there's going to be pain associated with it, then you are probably
no,
doing
but
this right.
but have always been like some of my favorite scenes, like because it's like the joy that's after that. But it's like, I guess the moment, like when you first, yeah, I mean, I guess in the very beginning, I'm always like, there's a lot of guys here.
Yeah.
How do I pay attention to all of them
Right.
at the same time? And I always make it my main goal to make every guy feel like they're the only guy in the room. That's always
Wow.
my number one.
'Cause- Right, that would be hard for me to feel like the only guy in the room when there's that many other guys. Because
Okay,
I
but-
was just watching this clip, and it's like you like laid on your back. There's a guy behind
Yes.
you. There's two guys on top of you,
Yeah.
and then there's another guy right here. And you are not only getting and by two in the, but you are also like making. You are
I
pleasuring
am.
this. You
I
are not
know.
ignoring this, even though there's so
Thank
much
you.
going on down here.
I'm so glad that you realize that, because that is always like my number one concern, to not ignore, because the second I mean, I do know also from being a director, I have seen when like
They
one
kinda
guy
check
feels a
out.
little left out,
Mm.
his is going to go down, and it's almost like I've compared it to like like when one goes down, the other they're going to start going down.
Really?
Or, oh
See
no,
it.
wait, or a yawn. It's a yawn. Yeah,
It's
you
like
hear
a
one person, and then it's like one person's tired, everybody
The butterfly effect. Going down.
One start
so-
going down, and then it's almost like the energy in the room changes, and then another is down, and then
Do you know why people do not choose to edit that out in scenes? Because I feel like I
Well,
see
I
so
think
many
when you-
scenes when there's
you people, sometimes it's hard to
okay.
edit,
Or
like
you want like have the guy off because
Yeah.
it's just hard to pull off.
but
I've never had to
it's hard to
coordinate
pull off.
with another dude.
It
well,
is
since
difficult.
my
I think
young
it's
days.
it's
but
one of the most I know from knowing male performers.
no, I
pretty
watched
well.
two guys try to
Um,
coordinate
it's
their nuts
hard,
the
yeah.
other day, and it was crazy watching them like kind of go back and forth. They're looking each other in the eye. They're looking at the like. It's just
Yeah.
such a weird thing
And also,
to
you
have
have
the
a lot of
time.
male like in the room where like if you know what I mean. It's like
Yeah.
if some guy cuts the line. This has happened to my husband actually. That he was on set for like I don't know. There's like a rotation sort of like an unspoken like
Okay.
you're next, and
Really?
somebody cut the line and like an actual fight broke out
Whoa.
in the
real
middle
fight.
of the yeah. Yeah, maybe, you know, I know this is more of his story to tell, but yeah, I
Oh,
remember
we
he
need
came
that.
home and told me like
Was
an
he
actual
involved in the fight?
No, he wasn't.
You witnessed the
Yeah,
fight.
no, no,
Okay.
Well, you gotta break it up. He's standing there with a. You gotta break it up.
It's like, hurry up, guys! I gotta go next.
What the
It's actually yeah, girls yeah.
And the girl's just
particular
laying
girls
there,
gangbang,
like-
and she's like,
But
hello?
okay, let's say that
Anyway.
I'm bang and I
Yeah.
gotta somehow my just starts working overtime and I'm like third in line and there's like two guys in front of me. Don't I kind of have permission to like jump
well,
ahead?
before you, but the
That's-
time is
Yeah,
different.
the-
Usually it's a
different.
discussion before time, like who's getting first.
Oh,
That's sort
okay,
of
okay.
And
like,
you ever watch like
yeah.
a scene where a girl's taking 5 nuts in the face and there's clearly edits between
Yes,
each of them
yes,
because
yes,
they're not
yeah.
just doing it
Oh,
back to
it
back.
is like
Yeah.
no, and that's my goal too, because I'm gonna say all of everyone has like pretty much boom, 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 because I know what to do. You
Really?
know? It's like my job to be on control, so
Yeah.
it's just like I'm gonna make sure everyone's ready to.
That was
I love
my
her.
experience last
But
time that we.
is not. That is like all the stars
Right.
align that day.
But that was
you
my
know?
experience last time that we. Is that you are like a very like loving style
Thank
performer,
you.
you know? She was like really like smushing herself into me, and you could tell that she's like
And
feeling
her.
it. Yeah. Oh, no,
See,
I'm not
like
just saying, not
you.
just me.
I
Yeah.
wanted both of you to feel like the only.
I want to be smushed by the.
It's like I only succeed if both of you should leave feeling like
You are our,
that's
our
what I
first
want. I
returning
want
guest.
everyone to leave a scene with me feeling like, you know what? She has a crush on me. That's
Yeah, the
what
thing.
you know. But like I guess for that scene I do, you know, like for that time.